Yes, you can curse.
Yes.
Hello, welcome back to Are You Seeing This? Today I have Canary and Key. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
We're so excited. I'm seriously, my channel is just going to be Jazz bringing all the women over from Twitter. That's my goal. So if you guys want to join and, talk one day, just DM me. But okay, so we're going to do a weekly review or a weekend review of SmackDown and Raw. So let's start with SmackDown since that was last week. And we're going to start with Chelsea Green and her qualifying for the Money in the Bank. What do you guys think?
Honestly, that steal of a win was absolutely perfect for her character, for the person that she is, just as a whole. I think it was a perfect way for her to get into Money in the Bank because she's been talking about it ever since, I think a few pay-per-views ago. She's been talking about being Chelsea in the Bank. So I'm so proud of my girl, and I can't wait to see her climb that ladder in some comedic fashion in some way to get that briefcase.
Oh, she's gonna be hilarious.
Same here. I ain't gonna lie, I'm rooting for her to win. I'm not gonna lie. We need a comedic relief in WWE right now, and she's like the main comedic relief that is like there. And I'm just rooting for her, man. She deserves it. Did y'all see what she said on Twitter about wanting to bring back the Divas Championship though? If she does end up winning, because it's technically vacant. So how do y'all feel about it?
That's true.
Really cool.
And how do we feel about it potentially being a mid-card title if she were to bring that title back?
We need it. I want it. I want to see it. I was watching some Diva, era matches the other day, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell they were thinking of calling them divas for, because they fought hard. Like they were almost scrappier and built in a lot of ways. So I'm just like, they fought really, really hard. Like, I don't know why they were seen as lesser than, because they put everybody on the map. I'm sorry.
I agree.
That I agree with. But we have to think about the time that the WWE was in and within what time that championship was brought out. Mainly towards the end of Nikki's reign, when she became the longest reigning women's Divas champion, which is now the women's championship. It was just centered around them because they were seen as pretty faces, but they were trying to get up to the level as the boys. Now, in this day and age, I feel like that the era we're in now with the WWE, it wouldn't do any harm to bring it back. It's not taking the ladies back down. It's not demeaning them. It's giving us that mid-card title we've always wanted and give the women something to fight for. Other than these two, which seems to be at this moment in time, unobtainable championships, give us a more obtainable one for the mid-carders that you have. So I say bring it. Give us back. Give it back to us.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be a complete mimic of what we have, like the US Championship or Intercontinental. We just want to see, the roster be utilized, because we have so much talent that's not even, getting an opportunity. I don't know if y'all saw the Twitter post about Dakota. She's talking about how she just wants an opportunity. And I'm just like, having these titles would give them the opportunity to have something to fight for. So
yeah, but if there's not enough, if there's way more talent than there are titles, and obviously we can't have, a title for everybody, but there needs to be more, or at least, separate them with the brands. It's just hard because how are you going to put the title on someone like Bianca Belair or a Rhea Ripley and then be like, all right, take it off them? It's almost like as soon as someone gets a title, even if it's just the tag titles or something like that, everyone's wanting them to put it on somebody else already. So it's like we don't really get a long time with them because people want those opportunities, but it's like, but the people that have the title now have to rush with that. They don't really get to soak in it and to have it.
Here's my theory on why they don't hold them for that long anymore. And if you really look at it, you had Roman Reigns, who was favored across every single brand. The fans loved him. Merch sales were through the roof all the time. But we also have to take into account Triple H has a secret burner account that he watches the entire IWC on. I'm not joking. He said it on Pat McAfee's show. So
hey V.
He listens to us and all of this. And if a champion that they put the belt on isn't necessarily resonating with people, then they take it off. And that's just my theory. I'm not saying it's fact. I know some of you like to take what I say out of context and then get mad at me in my DMs for it. Yeah. It's just my opinion. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's just my theory. It's my theory on it. Doesn't mean it's fact.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you got to think if he does have that burner account, whatever, then he's also seeing the complaints, and that worry. I'm sure that worries him a little bit because it's money. They're like, oh, okay, y'all like this one. Oh, okay. So yeah. I think it's going to be between Chelsea Green, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton. Those are like the top three I'm picturing in my mind. But I feel like
Money in the Bank match. Is Tiffany in the Money in the Bank match?
Not yet.
But she's going against Jade, right? Tomorrow, right?
She's getting put in a qualifying match.
Okay.
Yeah, her and Jade, and who's the other one? Oh, I can't think of her right now. I can't think of.
Well, I think Naya's gonna help her because we saw a little bit of foreshadowing with Naya getting Michin. I can't remember how she pronounced it now, but Michin. So I think she's gonna help out. I don't think she's gonna get it, unfortunately. As much as I love Bianca and them, I'd be wanting them to win all the time. I don't care. I just don't think they're going, to be in it this time.
Yeah,
it's fine. Okay, a little bit, but I'm tweaking a little. But I'm happy for Chelsea. I think you're right, Court. It's for her character, and I think if she were to become like a champ, that's how she would have to do it. Like I feel like she would have to do it in an underhanded way or something. Like
exactly.
All right. Speaking of Money in the Bank and stuff, what about the men? We had, was it Randy Orton? Was he in it?
Yes. Randy Orton, Andrade, and who was the other guy? I can't think of the other guy's name right now.
I don't know if it's Kevin Owens or Carmelo. But didn't Carmelo? I could have sworn
Carmelo's already in Money in the Bank.
Carmelo's already in there.
Carmelo's in, and I don't know who went up against them. You guys will have to tell us in the comments. I'm not sure. But basically, Andrade got through.
Andrade got through.
Tama Tonga. That's who it was. Tama Tonga.
Yeah.
That's right.
I knew he was in a qualifier first. I knew it. Okay. I was on the line to something. I knew it.
Yeah, so he made it through. How do y'all feel about him as a opponent? What are his odds?
I mean, like, honestly, for me, it's been unpredictable in a sense because I don't know if y'all noticed like the patterns that they've been utilizing for the past shows. So, like, for example, with SmackDown, the people that we were expecting to win, who had their intros and whatnot, they lost. So it's just like it's just so unpredictable at this point where I don't even want to just guess because like my guesses have been wrong. So I'm just like, hell, who knows? Andrade may win. He may win. Who knows? He might get a chance. But
you're playing in our faces for real.
Exactly. They are. Yeah,
everyone who had a jobber entrance is what they call it. Basically qualifies. So maybe they don't want to make it too obvious for us, but now it's making it obvious because now we're following another trend or pattern that they're doing. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think Carmelo. I don't know. I'm getting Carmelo in the Bank.
It's between Carmelo or Jay. Like those are my two. Love Jay. Always have been eating with him since day one. But with Carmelo, he became my new favorite when he came up from NXT, and then just all of that. His, run on the main roster has been great so far. When he was in NXT, it was great. So it's between those two for me. And if it comes down to the two in the ring, I may actually crash out.
Yeah.
And also, I just want to
go ahead.
I was gonna say I want to correct our mistake real quick. The match was between Kevin Owens, Kevin Owens, Friday, and Grayson Waller. That's who it was. It was like Randy Orton was the week before.
Yeah. I definitely jumbled it up. But yeah, with Jay, y'all know I love Jay. I love Jay, but I feel like he could stand on his own. He's not really an underdog, really. So I feel like the Money in the Bank is for like the underdogs, because it's like an underhanded way to get one over somebody, so they give it to people who would like want to cash in on someone and like prove themselves type of thing. And I feel like that's Carmelo Hayes because he's newer, but I'm in love with him. He's so strong. He's like, his confidence is like, I'm not really in love with him. Okay, guys, don't. But his confidence is like what, I don't know. It's just so striking. So I'm really hoping for him to win it because I want him to keep going. All right, Jacob Fatu. Am I saying the last name right, you guys? Is that how you say it?
Fatu? Yeah.
Fatu. Yep.
All right. So did you guys know about him before this? Because I did not. I'm a newer watcher, so.
I knew very, very little about him. I would see him on like some independent things. I didn't see him on too many. Mm-hmm. But I saw a little bit of him before. One, he looks absolutely amazing. Because I went back and saw some of his previous matches in independent. He looks amazing now, and I think what they're going to do with him in WWE was great. However, I really wish they would stop changing and or trademarking these whack-ass names.
Samoan werewolf. What?
That's what they call it?
No, they trademarked it, though. But, like, I take it back. Yeah, they did call his ass that. Oh, yeah.
They did.
They were just like, the Samoan werewolf. And I'm just like, that's ugly. I'm sorry, that's ugly as hell.
Give me something about that. Give me something. I didn't know.
Not a fan of that. There was another name they trademarked it too, and I can't remember what it was, but
Caesar Sikoa.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like who the fuck is that? I'm sorry, like who is that?
I know who Solo Sikoa is. I don't know who this Caesar Sikoa is.
And it makes me think, like, are they gonna bring in the other brother, Zilla? But the thing is with Zilla isn't a wrestler compared to his other brothers and family members. So it's just like, are they just, rushing the process a little bit, just to promote this new bloodline, like what's going on? So once again,
we need to build the aura points all the way up. Bring in everybody, bring in their mama.
For real. Yeah. From some of the things that I read, they might be fast tracking this because the people want Bloodline 2.0 versus old Bloodline, the OG Bloodline. So I have a feeling they might be rushing it to that extent to kind of push the Bloodline 2.0 that we have now to make them look strong. And then when Roman and Jimmy are ready to come back on their own accord when they're ready. First of condolences to Roman Reigns for his father. But when he's ready, I think that setup and that feud, because it's literally blood versus blood, family versus family. So it would be, dare I say, bigger than The Rock versus Roman Reigns.
I know. Yeah. Seriously though. Like, it's, how cool are they? Like, they have a family of wrestlers. Like, how many factions can do that? Like, no one. It's just them. Like, exactly. I don't know. It's cool. It's rare.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I was going to say, like, do y'all remember what Solo had said? And then, like you said, Court, I think they're setting up for that with the bloodlines, because Solo was just like, Roman's not coming back.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, what do you mean by that? What? And you know how those movies where they're just like the new It Girl is like has taken over. That's exactly what's happening. But
yup.
Who knows? No, once again, unpredictable.
The OG always comes back.
And will.
Anything that they bring up has significance, has importance. Any dialogue, because they could have just not even said it or not even showed it, but they showed it. So it's obviously they want us to get our brain, get our wheels turning a little bit. But They're definitely gonna have that. But I'm just kind of like, how are they gonna get Jay back over there? That's another reason why I don't think he's gonna take off on a solo run, because they're building that back up and stuff over there. So that's why I don't think he's gonna win Money in the Bank. But yeah, Squirt.
I know I talk about the Wyatt Six a lot, but that group could be a catalyst for Jay coming back. Because that could be a catalyst for them, for Jay rejoining them. Because we've seen Jay be in that moral push and pull. Do I go with my family and save my brother and save my cousin? Or do I go on my own and protect my peace?
Don't be putting Jay out there like this now.
No, but we've seen it. We've seen it on camera. We've seen the moral push and pull. We've seen it. And that's the only reason I say that. Is because if Jay sees his family getting slaughtered enough, he's gonna side with his family. Because he'd be like, you know what? Enough is enough. They got their karma. But this is too much. This is enough. So
I wonder when, because like you said, they're not really showing up on SmackDown like that. So
but Jay is on Raw. And as far as we know, if and when Jimmy, and I have to say if, because there are people that are like, they're not coming back. So I have to say if and when. So if and when they're ready and they come back, it's going to be like maybe the Wyatt Six attacks outside of the building. Like they start setting up vignettes where they attack outside of Roman's house, or they attack outside of Jimmy's house, or just something like that. Because we have seen them do it. We see him do it with Dom and his dad during Christmas and Thanksgiving. Like, we've seen that they can do these vignettes outside of the buildings that they perform shows in. So I think that might be a way that it brings the entire OG bloodline back together.
I agree.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to happen first? The civil war between each other? Between the family?
For sure.
The end. Yeah. I feel like that would have to happen before the influence of the Wyatt Six.
That is true. But in order to have the entire bloodline, Jay, Jimmy, and Roman, Jay has to have some reason to come back to that.
Yeah.
And if
they need to apologize.
Exactly. If they apologize, then maybe it'll work. And Jay would be like, okay, I'll side with you guys for this one thing. Maybe we see this go to War Games, and like I side with you guys just for War Games, and then I could see how that could be a catalyst into the Wyatt Six.
I like
Sorry,
that.
my brain works like 50 different thousand miles at a time when it comes to wrestling.
When it comes to Wyatt,
and that's okay.
And the Wyatt Six.
Court don't play about Wyatt Six. She does not play. But yeah, I feel like they have to have somebody soon. They have to have a faction.
They have to.
Yeah. Right now, they're kind of picking on Alpha Academy, but really Chad, mostly.
Yeah.
Poor Chad. Lord.
Speaking
he
of
got what he deserved. He got what he deserved.
Yeah. Speaking of getting beat up, at the very end, I think it was, or like towards the end, we had Drew beat up Punk, or it was revealed that Drew got revenge on CM Punk. What y'all think of that?
That was so good. I'm not gonna lie, that was glorious. It's so funny because like it was unexpected. You didn't see it coming. So when you like heard those like boom, 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 you just like, oh shit, is it Wyatt Six?
Yes.
Then, like, oh shit, like he got beat up in his city. He got his ass whooped in his city. So like that shit was glorious. That was a glorious segment. And then he carried his ass to the front so everybody could see. And like he was pushing on, I think he pushed on what's his face? Who's the GM for SmackDown?
Nick Atlas.
And he pushed his ass like, "Don't get your ass out my face." So that was so good. It was so good. I enjoyed that. Now the CM Punk fans were very unhappy, but like, I mean, like he's been terrorizing Drew for a hot ass minute, so like it was inevitable for that to happen, in my opinion, especially since he had quit on Raw the week before. So it's just like, hell, he's gonna get his revenge. any way he see fit. So I'm not mad at it. I liked it. I like that he kicked his ass, gave him a taste of his own medicine. However, I do think that once CM Punk gets right, it's gonna be a blood war between them. It's gonna go crazy because you got a hothead already, CM Punk, and you got Drew who likes to talk shit. Run his little Twitter fingers and talk shit. So like that on top of CM Punk's already, straight edge personality. Them two finna fight. They're about to fight really hard. So I'm looking forward to it.
Go ahead, Court.
I didn't fault CM Punk for the whole WrestleMania thing. I blamed Drew for that. His ass should have got up, ran to the back. So I don't blame CM Punk for that. Everything else, I blame him for. I blame him for Glasgow. I blame him for my shoe being untied and tripping. Any inconvenience in my life is Phil's fault. And any inconvenience that comes to Drew McIntyre, it's his fault, except for WrestleMania. Yeah. That is the only time I will not say it's his fault.
Right.
Everything else is his fault.
I stand on this in saying that CM Punk got his lick back at WrestleMania. He should have left it there. He should have. It. I feel like, okay, well, now you're just asking for Drew to like continue to antagonize you. So I feel like him, costing him the title twice, that's an issue. That's a problem. So now I'm kind of like siding with Drew a little bit, but I'm not even that much of a Drew fan because I used to think he whined a lot. He complained a lot. I'm just like, okay, I get it now, Drew. I get it. I feel you. You lost in your home country. You lost at WrestleMania. Like, feel for you, dude. Okay. So I like CM Punk too. Don't think I don't like CM Punk, y'all. I do, but that was this time. Just saying.
I agree. And speaking of CM Punk, I'm getting tickled thinking about it. Y'all saw what he said in the segment when he said fake ass Usos.
Yeah.
That shit tickled me. That shit was funny. He's funny. He's great on the mic, I will say. But I'm just ready to see what they're gonna continue to do with this storyline between those two, because he got his ass whooped. So now what's next? Like, is he gonna is he getting ready to fight? Like, are we gonna have a match coming up soon, like at SummerSlam? What's going on? What? Once again, I keep saying it, unpredictable outcomes.
Yeah. Well, moving on to Raw. He went on to Raw and started talking about he stole the bracelet. He stole
here. Speaking of that, I was about to say. So I don't know if y'all saw the discourse, but they're talking about we need AJ back. Do y'all think there's a chance in this storyline, whether it's in the Netflix era, if it even goes even further than that? Do you guys think that AJ will make a comeback with the storyline?
I said this on my Twitter when I saw that he had the bracelet that said Larry and then AJ. I made a joke. I was like, Drew single-handedly is going to be the reason AJ comes out of retirement. Just to kick Drew's ass and go home. Like, she single-handedly, Drew single-handedly, I'm like, he might force her hand and she might come out of retirement just to beat his ass.
What was her finisher called? With the Black Widow, I think it was called. Black Widow. Yeah, she might get his ass.
As much as I would love that, she has made it clear so many times that she is not going to come back. Unfortunately, it's sad, but I would love to see her back. I just don't think she wants to. I would
love to see her on the sidelines. She doesn't have to wrestle, but then again, like she said, it's in her book too. She's kind of over the company, but it'll be so cool to see her, come to the sidelines, on some Rey Mysterio wife type shit. You feel me? Just sitting
in a blue moon.
Yeah. And it's a new company. It really is a new company.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree.
All right. So what about Chad Gable getting constantly targeted by Wyatt 6? He is being bullied right now.
Yes.
Honestly, that's what his ass is. That's what he gets. He was a dickhead. Otis. Otis. Arnie's precious boy, Otis.
Maxine.
And Maxine. Oh, God. Poor Maxine.
He called her dumb at every corner. Every step. I'm like,
he hurt her boot. he kicked her ass, and he hit her ass, and now her whole little feety. Like, come on, you can't come back from that. And Otis meant what he said when he said, "We're done."
But we heard Maxine say that she would talk to Otis for Chad because she genuinely feels for Chad at this very moment because of the whole Wyatt 6 thing. Like, as far as we know, they thought that he was actually gone or seriously hurt. But now that he's okay, I think that he may have actually seen the error of his ways. He did take accountability, which is something I have been screaming at the top of my lungs ever since this new version of Chad has come about. He needs to take accountability, and we saw him do that on Monday. But also with taking accountability and apologizing and righting your wrongs doesn't necessarily mean the people you're apologizing to have to accept it and have to take it. And that's what we're seeing with Otis. A little less with Maxine because she's more empathetic with what's going on because she feels for him. But also, if he doesn't get back into Alpha Academy, we saw him talk to Ivy and the Creed brothers.
Yeah.
And
coming back too.
Even then, they asked him, they're like, Chad, are you okay? Are you good? And he's like, no, I'm not. I need help.
Man is scared.
He is scared. And that's what it made me laugh when he came out for his qualifying match. Because he's like, Chad Gable can never die. Like, every time he would say something, he would just shudder and turn in fear.
Yeah. And obviously Nikki came out for him a little bit too, to scare him again, to bully, to intimidate. But something else that we saw before we get to the video package, everyone kept like tagging is the Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss was one of his.
Yep.
So they're kind of like foreshadowing her return, possibly.
They very much are foreshadowing her. So she isn't going to be coming back as Abby. So that more than proves my theory that she is the she that journal entry was about. That she is the only one. And if you guys notice, Nikki is the only one that walked through the door. And I heard somebody else say this. I don't remember who said it. So this isn't my fact, but I saw somebody say this and I did notice it. Nikki was the only one that walked through the door. Everybody else came around the side of the door. Like they came around the edges. So that tells me that Uncle Howdy opened the door, but unless she walks through that door, nobody else can. Because Uncle Howdy didn't walk through the door. He only said, I can only open the door. It has to be she who chooses to walk through the door.
So only women can walk through the door? I'm confused.
No, so Alexa Bliss is what I'm seeing now. And this is going to be coming in my video more heavily with my explanation. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I just started a new job. So I'm gone from 7:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon or evening.
Get that money, girl.
Hello.
So for me, that's telling me, unfortunately, Bray Wyatt isn't going to be the spiritual sixth member. He may be what's in the lantern specifically, or just his aura in the lantern. That tells me that Alexa Bliss, in some capacity, is going to be the co-leader with Bo.
Okay. So he's really relying on her to come back.
So yes, so it heavily relies on her because if you think about it, there's no other female that would be able to do what she did because she was the original. She was the original girl or original woman to be with Bray Wyatt, the original one to take on the female persona of the Fiend. So we're going to see her come back more as Lily or something like that, something a lot darker. Yes, Abby is dark, but it fits Nikki more so than anything else because Nikki was crazy, Nikki was unhinged, and that's everything that Abby was or is. So, and then getting into the video package in a little bit, with her, Alexa is going to have to be the catalyst basically for everything. So that tells me that Chad and everybody else is basically their way of biding time until she gets back. Because if she comes back, it's most likely going to be because they can't just leave us with the did she give in control or is she in control type thing. because that's what we saw at the Royal Rumble, I believe, last year, if I'm not mistaken. It was the video package, and she was left sitting in the middle of the ring. So we were all left wondering what is going to happen, and they can't leave that blank. They can't just skip it and move on, because that is the most important part of her story. We already saw her kind of giving in to Uncle Howdy, fighting it in her mind, fighting the control, fighting all of that. But
so explain to me what Uncle Howdy, like, is he a concept? Like, obviously he's a real person.
So
is he
Uncle Howdy is
possesses people?
Uncle Howdy originally was something that Bray would see in his dreams and nightmares all the time. So it was something real to him. Every character that we see is a real representation of something he went through or was going through. So with, what was I saying? So with Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy, from what I understand, was supposed to be the more intense, more philosophical version of the Fiend. More intense, more like, are you sure you're really in control here? Are you sure? Are you sure about all of this? Because from what I'm seeing, you're not so sure. It's making people second guess themselves. It's making people remember who they were before. And that was the whole premise of Bray in the beginning. And that was the whole premise of Alexa, to remember who they were, to remember that they are the darkest beings in the darkest parts of themselves. So for Uncle Howdy, it's getting people to remember who they are. It's getting people to understand that they're not alone. He's basically that, he's like a cult leader in a sense. I
was going to say, it's more in a twisted way, though.
It's more of like a twisted cult, per se. Yeah. It's like, I can give you family, I can give you refuge, I can give you all of this, but you need to do exactly what I say when the time is right. You need to do exactly what I do. You need to do this, and you need to do that.
So he makes them feel like it's their choice, and that everything is their doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, he's mind controlling them in some way.
Exactly. He's kind of like the puppet master. Yes!
Jinx!
He is the puppet master. And we even saw that with Bo Dallas. We saw him and getting into the video package. That was a perfect segue. Yep. We saw it. Now, I was not prepared for the questions that he asked. Not at all. I wasn't prepared for, are you sure this isn't basically like capitalizing on your brother and, you know, all of this? Are you, how did it feel when your brother died? Like, I wasn't word for word like that. And if you notice, it all starts with how and it all ends with howdy. It all started and ends with howdy. Because he asked, who are you? I'm no one. They wanted to forget us, but we made them remember who we are. Them meaning us, the world, the fans.
Yeah.
We thought that we were never going to see it again, so we started to forget about it. We started to slowly kind of pull away from it. But then we were like, no, we want it. We want more. Sure. And then with the documentary, it teased it. So we're like, we want it more. We want this. We want it so bad. Please give it to us. Yeah. But we were all okay if they decided they wouldn't want to do it. We all would have understood. But then they decided to do that. So
definitely the underlying message there. I mean, I don't know a lot about their history and stuff, and I still need to do my research and my homework. But what I got from it as just a newer watcher too is like, obviously when they went through that tragedy, they did lose themselves, I'm sure. And maybe they didn't really think about wrestling like that. And so I guess when I kept hearing them say like, remember who you are, I'm thinking, remember who you are as a wrestler, as a person, as, you know, why you're here again and doing it for the passion of wrestling. And almost like in memory for your brother as well too. So that's kind of what I got from it as someone who doesn't know a lot of the lore. But it was very impactful. Everybody, a lot of tears on the timeline.
I agree. And it also just addressed those insensitive questions that people were asking prior to the them coming back, you know, like, oh, WWE's capitalizing off of this, like, you know, spamming JoJo and whatnot. So like it was very emotional, and I feel like this is also, you know, grief is not linear, obviously, and so I feel like this is also a good way, like a way for him and the whole family to, you know, grieve, because this was something that Bray was highly passionate about, as we can see in the art and craft that he did before he had passed away. And so I just feel like, you know, they're doing such a great job with this. I mean, like, it gets you thinking, it gets you, I mean, like, it pulls you in, and like how Triple H recently just said in an interview, like, you know, it's like we're not a sport. It's like a movie. It's like a movie, but we're wrestling with it. So it's just like you're getting the drama, you're getting the soap opera, you're getting all of these different genres all in one, with wrestling tying in with it, and so that's what makes it so magical. You know what I mean? So.
It also hits home for a lot of people that go through grief and go through these really dark, hard times and actually forget who you are and, you know, what you stand for and everything that you do. So that's why I've always tweeted, remember who you are. It's because I relate super heavily to that portion of why the group is a group. I relate so heavily to that, just with personal life, careers, like stuff like that. Example, I'm someone that loves to work. So when I got hurt, I didn't know who I was. I thought I was nobody. So I thought I was useless. But it kind of makes you sit and think. It's like, okay, well, they're starting to get through it, so maybe I can too. It gives everybody hope. Is it dark? Is it creepy? Is it kind of morbid in some senses? Yes. But that's what dealing with mental health is. And that was the whole premise of Bray Wyatt. And I think Taylor Bo Dallas is doing a great job at like conveying that and emulating that himself, because in the documentary, you would see videos of him, and then you would see like pictures of him after Bray passed, and you could see the difference in each of the, like, or the video or a picture. You could tell the difference. You could see it. Yeah. So for him, I know this isn't easy in any way, shape, or form. I know this is probably incredibly emotionally taxing in some ways. Just like I know it's probably incredibly emotionally taxing for Eric, because he is bringing memory back to not one, but two people that he lost, Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt. So for him, I know this is incredibly difficult for him too. Now, I'm not sure how close Nikki was with Bray. I'm not sure how close Dexter was or how close Joe was with them. So I can't speak for the other three, but I can speak for, you know, what I know on Alexa and what I know on Bo, and, you know, just stuff like that.
The things that you've seen,
yeah, with things that I've seen, I can speak for. With other things that I haven't seen, I'm not going to give my opinion on.
Sure. Yeah,
and that's
go ahead.
I was going to say, and that's why I love the storyline, because it's allowing you to see these topics that, you know, wrestling didn't know at one point. You know what I mean? So we're getting, you know, a good, like, not saying creative like has been a bad thing beforehand, but we're getting an opportunity to like see some real life things that go on with real life people. And that's why, like in Court, that's why, you know, people resonate to it, because it's relatable, it hits home, and, you know, personal issues, especially in this art that we're, you know, passionate about, it draws you in. It just makes you want to, you know, watch even more. So
yeah, I tell people I don't watch sports, but I watch wrestling because we're like a soap opera in some ways. I watch for the storylines, and I know a lot of people are like, do you even care about the wrestling? We talked about this all the time on here, and I say, yes, we do. I love the stuff. I love the wrestling too, but it just has that you know, extra oomph that makes me
days of our lives.
Yeah, I want to know what happens to Chad. I want to know what if Otis turns on Chad. I want to know about the LivDom. I want to know about, you know, all the storylines. So
I want the other 4 video packages for everybody else. Thank you. Like they did for Bo. I want the other 4. Make me cry again, please.
So
I will say one thing. Hold on. Sorry, I was gonna say one thing. They need to stop with that damn jump scare. I swear to God.
Yes.
At the end, it's giving Five Nights at Freddy's 2014. It scares the shit out of me. Like every time, like I have to smile. Like I'm dead ass. Like I swear to God, like I literally jumped out of my damn bed because I got scared. I don't like stuff like that. It's good, but damn, it brings me back to Five Nights at Freddy's for sure. Them damn jump scares. Freddy
the annoying part about it is I know it's gonna happen and I still get scared. I like know it's gonna happen.
Like it's spooky as hell. I don't like shit like that, but it's good, but I don't like it. Damn it.
And it'd be like at 11 at night too. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you trying to scare me before I go to bed, and now I'm gonna have to pray.
I would hate to transition this into maybe a less savory storyline that we have going on right now. Definitely more of the like drama, soap opera, telenovela type of, you know. But with the LivDom Judgment Day, it's
getting spicy.
It's getting messy.
It is messy as hell.
Honestly, I really don't like. At first, I really liked it. I thought it was cute. I thought it was funny. But now it's starting to get really like raunchy and kind of trashy. And with the sloppy second chant, like it really bugged me. I really didn't like it.
But that was borderline harassment at this point. Like it's teetering the line of like delusional harassment. So for me, I'm like, okay, Liv gotta keep her eye on the prize because at this moment, it's kind of looking like she's losing sight of the vision here. Like,
but that's what happens when they are taking a sharper turn with it and make it more sexualized and stuff. Because I think Zelina was actually the one to like say sloppy seconds, so they kind of took that and ran with it. And so now it's like getting like a little nasty. Like I didn't really like it.
And like I said on Twitter, I was just like, I'm just really confused as to why she's coming this hard. Because why do you care? Why do you give a damn? Like, do you want him? Do you want some of that dirty D that you said? Like, girl. Like, because like she's coming off so strong for absolutely no reason. Like I would think like you would have beef with like Rhea or something over that. Like, what is the reason to come at Liv as hard as she's coming? And she can't say it's because of Dominic. She can't say she ultimately has no reason. There is no reason, honestly. Damn it. Like
I think she just want to hurt her feelings at this point. I think it's more.
It's giving like Mean Girl, right? It's giving like she's playing like Mean Girl trope of WWE right now, and it's just like it's not working out in her favor because you're in a baby face stable right now. So I'm just like I'm confused as to why you are trying to play Mean Girl. It doesn't make any sense, and especially if you're trying to get this championship, like what's going to happen then? Like, are you going to continue, to do the Mean Girl stuff while if you were to potentially become champion? Like, where's this character going?
Right.
And so that's what confused me with Liv and Zelina's part. But Liv and Dom,
she could, like I get Zelina, like she could be upset about Liv not taking the title seriously because Liv isn't. Liv's whole thing is about getting revenge on Rhea, and that's it. And so I understand why she feels like, oh, you're just hanging on to the title as like some weird grudge that you have with somebody. But I think it's the wording, the phrase. They got to be careful because you're just kind of egging the audience on to say these nasty things and turn it into something that's more trashy. I just feel like it's trashy, like to make it more about what they got in their pants and all this, and like. Like it just I don't like that. I feel like it's starting to be like AEW. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you need to leave. Honey bun. Oh, you're gonna habanero pepper. But like seriously, I don't know, like. I want them to shut the hell up too, so I can hear Dominic because what tickled me so good. I cackled at this like at like 9 a.m. whenever I saw it on Twitter, and he was just like, I'm not your man. And then like no, he was just like, oh, she's not her man and everything. And then like every time he would say something, they were just like a boo, like a long ass boo. But he sounded so unconvincing saying that I'm not her man. I want to help you. Like, no, you don't. Like, you like it's just not making any sense to me. I don't know. Like,
I want to on screen, but the social media then
Thank you. The social media. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because so how the hell? Why in the hell are you liking her post 2 minutes in? What are you doing? Like, you're not.
He got them notifications on. He has those notifications on. He has to.
You can't even let that whole marinate and you already liking it. Like, damn. Like, and that's what's throwing me off because it's just like on screen, on live, it's just like, I don't know how she got my number. I don't know how she did this. But now it's just like on social media, you're just like retweeting everything that she says, like anything for Daddy Dom, and then you retweeted it in like 2 minutes after she posted it. So it's just like your actions are not lining up to what you are doing on social media. And so that's my main point. He's acting fake. He's fake. Because it's just like you know the little angel and the little devil. It's just like oh. You know, I want to entertain her, but it's just like, I can't do that. So, like, because he's still technically with Rhea. I mean, actually, no, he is with Rhea. In
kayfabe world, he is.
I mean, like, honestly, though, in my opinion, he's already cheated. Because, like, you entertaining her, you're retweeting everything. You know, you're
eating her forbidden nuggets.
You're eating it up.
That's cheating.
That's cheating.
Nuggets.
You ate and without ranch. You ate the nuggets.
So we think ultimately, okay, we obviously know that. Well, I'll ask, but you all think Finn and JD are, you know, gonna obviously here side with Liv just because Finn and Liv already had an alliance at one point. They're already kind of like friends, even though Finn's technically in a different group. People are kind of saying, you know, oh, they were together alone. He took the key card and all these things. So Finn is obviously in some sort of cahoots with Liv. And JD would follow Finn because you know, JD came because of Finn. So they have an alliance. So you guys agree with that so far?
I do, because he even said on Monday night, this Liv Morgan is too good to be true. He never once said that about Rhea. Never once said that about Miss Ripley.
Exactly.
So if we're agreeing with that,
yes.
So what people are saying is that they're going to have like an internal war with Judgment Day with Liv, Finn, and JD, and then Rhea, Dom, and Damian. But I think Dom is that piece that is kind of going to go both ways.
Wild card.
Yeah.
I gotta say something.
Go ahead.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I
don't think that Finn, JD, and Liv are going to be a staple or a faction at all, or are gonna go against Dominic, Rhea, and Damian, for the simple fact they are setting up Rhea and Damian to be baby faces. Why would they turn their biggest heel right now in this day and age on Beyonce's internet? Why would they turn him face? There's absolutely no reason to turn him face unless they want to reset him. But I don't believe they're going to reset him right now because they're capitalizing off of him with this Liv and Dominic stuff and versus Rhea stuff. Like, they're capitalizing off of that from the social media views, from everything.
Oh yeah.
They're going to push and pull on this until they can't push and pull it no more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so that's why I'm just like, every time I see that come up, like Liv and Finn and JD are going to be doing something because Liv and Finn were like this at one point. The past is past for a reason. And so like, I don't think they're going to go through Liv and Finn possibly working together again this soon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they're going to obviously we can see that Finn is probably going to end up betraying Damian in some form or fashion, as we saw 2 weeks ago. He was just like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to go on to be a champion. And then he was looking at like, you know, Damian dead in his eye, but then he was just like, oh, I'm just joking, I'm going to go for Cody. Like,
well, let me play into your storyline a little bit too, because I kind of agree with you in some ways, only because I think Damian is another key card here that he don't really care about Judgment Day lately. He really is like only thinking about himself. He's being selfish. Him and Rhea have had tension for the longest, and they always, would like show it to us backstage of them arguing, and they can't get along, and they disagree on like partnership wise. So I feel like Damian is probably, if anyone would leave the group, I feel like he's ready to leave, because he's just like annoyed by them. Like he got upset at them several times towards the end of the show because they got into other people's business. Like he's like getting tired of them or something. Like he's like, y'all always need help. He even said, he's like, I don't need y'all. Y'all need me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to play on the video that WWE just posted of Dominic and Carlito celebrating, Finn and JD winning, he didn't even look happy. He's just like, okay. And so what? Like, he didn't even look excited. He didn't. All he did was fist bump him. But then you saw his face. His face was just like, I could honestly not give a fuck. Like that's what he, So
go for it.
It's because Damian doesn't believe they actually won them in a clean way and in the correct way in the Judgment Day's eyes. Because Liv played a key role in getting them the pin. In his eyes, they don't really deserve the championships because they let somebody who has been the enemy for the longest time help them win. Played a key role.
That's hypocritical, though.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say.
It is, though.
He capitalized on Drew. He capitalized on Drew when, So,
and it's crazy because like, hasn't their whole thing been to cheat for wins?
Yes.
No shade. I'm just like, why are you so pissed off that somebody else outside of y'all, stable doing the same exact thing that y'all are doing?
Well, maybe he still has a little loyalty left.
And that's also where I was going. Like my theory is like that is also push like foreshadowing him turning babyface because he doesn't like the shit anymore. You know what I'm saying?
He is. Yeah. He doesn't want to cheat anymore. It's like he doesn't want to cheat.
He don't want to cheat.
He wants to win in a clean, respectable way because when it gets thrown back at you for like when you're facing a babyface who does win honest and who does win cleanly, it's always thrown back at them. Well, I'd like to see you win a match respectfully, cleanly, and fairly, without any outside help, without any bells and whistles. Good old-fashioned wrestling, 1, 2, 3. So, but we saw so many theatrics with Rhea and Dom, and Rhea playing interference on the sideline, or Rhea flirting with Jay. Just all of this. So now we're seeing Damian in that more clean-cut, classic way that we saw him at the beginning when he was coming over from NXT and he was the United States champion. He was a clean, respectable champion, and from what I understand, he was a babyface that entire time.
Yes, he
was. I think
that's not gonna resonate with Rhea when she gets back. Rhea's gonna want to go back to cheating.
No, she is. She's gonna want to go back to the old ways, but with Damian, it's like he's like, you know what? I'm bored of winning so easily. Let me give myself a challenge, which is win fairly and cleanly.
Yeah, I think he also wants more fans. Like he wants more people.
Yes, he does.
He's like, people don't think well of me. They don't think that I can do it. And I need to prove it. And I need to shove it down all y'all's mouths or whatever the hell he said. So now I'm just like, or throats. I think he said. Throats.
Yeah.
So I feel like he wants respect. And so he knows if he wants respect, he's going to have to like win cleanly. And he still really has not done that. Okay. Really.
No.
So yeah, that's hypocritical of him, but
I agree.
100%.
So I don't.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so I don't think that's just gonna happen. Like the triple threats. That's just my opinion. It just can't unless they try. Oops, sorry. You go ahead.
I was gonna say, when do y'all think she's returning? Because I feel like she's coming sooner than expected.
So some people are saying Money in the Bank, but I highly doubt that. Because first of all, congratulations to her for getting married. Because girl, Period. Yes. And so she just got married, so I think she's gonna, honeymoon for a bit. And I think she may end up returning definitely at SummerSlam time because, that gives her time to cook a little bit and also heal too because she was injured. So
yeah.
And those, I think it was her shoulder. Those shoulder injuries, you can't continue to wear and tear yourself, especially as you're getting older and whatnot. But I think that she may come back SummerSlam, and I think they're probably gonna turn her ultimately face then, or push to turn her face. For phase her out of Judgment Day. Once she handles Judgment Day a little bit, I think that they're gonna push her face months down the line. I want to say, teetering toward the Netflix era. So
yeah.
Do you guys think it's the end of Judgment Day? I just can't see
100%.
that happening. They won Faction of the Year last year. They'll get rid of the whole faction?
I don't think they're going to get rid of the whole faction. I think they're going to, honestly, and this is just probably this is off the top of my head, I think they may allow Dom to take over for a bit. Whoa. And let me elaborate. Let me elaborate. And so, think about it. Finn and JD, they're in cahoots with Liv, whatever, what have you. And then Rhea and Damian, if they end up going babyface, who is going to hold it down? The only one that has been as the loyalist to everybody is Dominic, if we're going to be quite honest. Dominic has been, he's been through enough as is, from the deadbeat dad to getting his ass beat to everything. So it's just all he knows, he's probably going to ultimately be left alone in all of this. That's my theory with Judgment Day. So, and I think they're gonna push it out until the Netflix era comes in. I think it's gonna last until then, and then afterwards they're probably gonna phase it out for sure. But I think Dominic is gonna probably be by himself, in my opinion.
Well, I think they'll definitely push for it. He hasn't been on his own ever. So,
and that's my point. That's my main point. They're probably gonna push for him to be a champion. Yeah. But
oh God,
in a Judgment Day kind of heel sense, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean by Judgment Day is phasing out. He's gonna be by himself. He's gonna be the last main member to that people really give a damn about. You know what I'm saying? So.
All right, so let's go ahead and transition this to the last segment. I believe it is Seth versus Damon, and then Gunther kind of coming through.
Yeah,
with more Money in the Bank.
I made a post. about why the hell did Seth Rollins open up his goddamn fur coat to Gunther? What the fuck was the reason? I said he wants him, girl. He wants some of that gut, but what was the reason?
Seth.
What was the reason? I love Seth.
I don't know. Razzle dazzle. It's Seth Rollins.
It's Seth.
It's Seth freaking Rollins.
Why did he have a Mardi Gras entrance for WrestleMania? We don't know. And the whole world was trying to guess what kind of entrance that was. On God, I was confused as all hell until someone in the Twitter space said it's supposed to emulate Mardi Gras. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, so we know Seth ain't winning then, I guess.
Not if the stipulation is he can't challenge again, because what kind of stipulation is you have a lightweight stipulation and then you have a whole career move stipulation over here.
Yeah.
It's Damian, if you lose, you got to leave Judgment Day. Aha. Bye, I'm out. And it's okay, if you lose, you just can't challenge again. Okay, I'm going to go challenge for something higher. Okay, bye.
Yeah. But it's also too soon. Steph just came back from
an injury.
Being injured. So and he had a long run, which I loved and I enjoyed. But I think it's too soon. I think they're just trying to build up Damian more with some more respectable opponents. Yeah. To make it seem look, he beat them too. But I don't think it's going to be clean. I still don't think it's going to be clean.
Nope.
Uncle Howdy is also watching him very closely.
Damian?
No, Seth.
Oh, why?
Elaborate.
I know Kate said that the past is the past, but in the WWE, the past makes all the difference, and it makes for a present storyline.
Mm-hmm.
What was the biggest bitch move that Seth did?
Oh my god.
The shield!
He turned on my man.
He turned on Roman Reigns.
And they're talking about the shield again.
His brother. That he said, that's my brother. Yeah. So he's being watched very closely. He may not get clapped yet, but he is being watched very closely. That is why every Monday my ADD goes absolutely nuts, because I have to watch every single part, not just the wrestling. I have to watch the doorways now too.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't even get on Jedi's lives on Mondays, because I'm like, I need to focus, and it's long, but I also need to focus.
3 hours.
It's 3 hours of talking long. Like,
damn.
Yeah, if you ever want to join the stream, you can. I'm sure they'll be open to it. Okay. But it's long. It's long.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. I don't know. Seth and Damian, I in my heart, I want Seth to win just so this Judgment Day shit can like get a good push. Cause I feel like if Damian were to leave, all hell's gonna break loose, especially if Rhea, is not coming back Money in the Bank time, right? So it's just like all hell is gonna break loose, and then like, what's Rhea like? What's she gonna do? What's gonna happen with the Judgment Day? So I don't know. I can't pick a winner. I can't pick who I want to win, because there's so once again unpredictable outcomes that could happen. There's so many outcomes and like ways that we can analysis of what could happen. So
I feel like the surprise way, if Seth would win, there definitely would be a lot more crazy plot lines. But if Damian kept it, I think it would keep it stable enough until Rhea came back. I just really feel like they're waiting for Rhea, and it's unfortunate, because I think they had other plans for this whole story. And I almost feel like if Rhea would have stayed, Liv would be the face. Liv would be seen as the, as the hero or whatever. But now she's looked at as the villain because it was an injury type of thing. So I feel bad for Liv, because I feel like now she didn't really get true redemption. She got like revenge, which is like, it puts you as the monster.
I feel like they should have, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say this, they should have saved the Liv and Dom stuff for the very end of the storyline. Yeah. So it's like kind of her chopping away at the Judgment Day tree slowly and slowly, week after week after week. Work with the weakest members and work your way up. But no, she decides to go all over the map. But, that's fine. They didn't give me a job in creative writing with the WWE, even though I did apply. I'm very upset.
It does feel like they're rushing it now. I think like what Key said is that they saw how many people viewed that kiss. And they're like, oh, y'all like this? And they're just gonna up it more and more and more, because they just want the viewership. Like
they do.
WWE is a little hungry for, a little attention, WHORE a little bit. And so they're gonna push the thing that's bringing in a lot of viewership right now.
Yeah.
And that also leads to like my point with the viewers, of course, like they know that the demographic that will stay loyal to something are your Gen Z teenagers.
Yeah.
They are going to like you see how the stan pages go crazy for Rhea and Dom and Liv and Dom. It gives off like Twilight. It gives off Twilight. You know what I'm saying? It gives off, the Jacob versus Edward type beat.
Oh so my
gosh. That pulls people in. And no matter how bad, no matter how people don't want to admit that, but the tween stuff sells. The tween drama, soap opera shit sells. The love story that sells, and they are capitalizing off of that so much. And if they push and go along those old school ruthless aggression lines, they are going to get a lot of views on the internet, and even further, they're gonna have a lot of people tune the hell in. Yeah. No matter how the storyline goes, if they go that route, those views are gonna go up again. Yeah. They're gonna target a demographic that they didn't even think about, or you haven't even thought about like trying to target. Yeah, and that's my marketing degree coming in. That's my marketing degree coming in, girl.
I hate to say it, but my best videos right now are the LivDom stuff. And even though I didn't want to become like this gossip channel for wrestling, that's you know. So I know you want it, so I give it to you. But it's like, yeah, I mean, it does really well. It's what people want to see. So, all right, what about Gunther? Because so this is how I think it's gonna play out. I think they're just lining up people for Damian to make him long. And so I think, you know, Seth will win, or I think he will beat Seth, and then I think he will go on to beat Gunther, which I don't want to see, but
I want to see him. I love his theme song. Don't get me wrong. I have it on my workout playlist, and when I'm angry, I play that first. True story. But with Gunther, he kind of just pops up anywhere and everywhere because he's like, surprise, you forgot, you think you're gonna forget about me. No.
He's the Charlotte Flair of the men's division.
Literally. Now, I love me some Charlotte Flair, don't get me wrong, but you are absolutely correct. He's like, I'm gonna be in the back of this shot. Hello. I'm gonna show up during this confrontation. Hello.
And it's so funny.
Hello.
And it's so funny because he dead ass was just like, I don't give a damn what y'all got going on. Listen, who I gotta face, I just know I'm gonna get that title regardless. That's basically how he came off whenever he came out. Like, you're just like, fuck what you got going on and fuck what you got going on. I don't give a damn about none of y'all, but like, I'm gonna handle my business. Whoever wins at Money in the Bank, I'm gonna handle my business afterwards because I'm the king, basically. Yep. So
Gunther gotta watch his back too.
Yeah, you're right though.
You gotta watch his back though too. And I don't know if Key saw this video and when I said this, but it may not have been the wrestler specifically when the W6 debuted. But if you notice, there are a lot of the actors or extras they brought in emulated wrestlers perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. So if my theory is correct, everybody that was emulated in some way or another gotta watch their back because, and I know I sound like a broken record, but with them here, nothing and nobody is safe. No title is safe. No group is safe. No odd man out is safe. Like, nobody except the women are safe right now. The women are the only people that are safe.
For right now.
For now.
And that's on some boogeyman shit. I am the boogeyman. I'm going to get you. Like, that's exactly what it's giving. And that's why I love it because the storytelling is there. Like, it keeps you on your damn toes. Like, I love it.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see, y'all. Thanks for joining me today. It was so nice to have you.
No problemo, girl. You got me out my shell. That was fun.